Hey everyone, I'm Heather, and I've been on a quest to solve a specific editing puzzle lately. The challenge is transforming our long-form couples table episodes into punchy vertical clips for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts. You know the couples table is just my husband Tom and me, sharing one frame during a live recording. That cozy side-by-side setup is perfect for the full episode, but it makes repurposing for vertical so complicated. Many creators simply crop into a single speaker, which works great with multiple camera angles. But for us, cropping one person out entirely cuts the other one completely out of the conversation. We absolutely cannot use the popular split screen trick since we only have one source video feed. So I've been wrestling with a big decision. Should I reframe the horizontal video to look intentional and vertical, or just let the platforms auto-crop it? Spoiler alert, hoping the auto-crop works out is simply not a viable long-term strategy for quality content. I started experimenting with a couple of workflows, mainly leaning on both Descript and Canva for their features. Descript is unbelievably awesome for getting fast transcriptions and making precise edits right from the text. Canva, on the other hand, is ridiculous for producing beautiful on-brand assets and handling simple exports easily. But honestly, neither one of those tools alone covered absolutely everything I needed to make this work smoothly. Descript's captioning is unmatched, because it syncs perfectly to the actual audio timeline, which is crucial. However, Descript isn't as flexible when I want really bold, playful, and complex motion graphics. Canva has endless templates and fun visual elements, but their waveform graphics are purely decorative, not audio-linked. Furthermore, exporting transparent PNGs from Canva just to bring them into Descript feels like a manual dance that always slows my process down. This is why I have been building a hybrid workflow that really leans into the unique strengths of both those existing tools. Lately, I've started folding in Vizard because frankly, it fills in those missing gaps in a really smooth and efficient way. Vizard's built-in AI will scan the entire long video and find the most shareable, audience-grabbing moments automatically. It then cuts those moments into ready-to-post clips, which is an incredible time saver for me. When you are trying to consistently make good vertical content from that single, shared horizontal shot, that automation is key. Let me walk you through exactly how I manage this entire process now, though I am still refining the details as I go. My first action is always dropping the full hour-long recording of the couples table directly into Descript. Descript automatically handles the entire transcription, and that readable text document is priceless for my workflow. I can now actually skim through the key topics in seconds instead of manually scrubbing through the entire hour manually. Once I've identified a promising segment, I export just that small clip and immediately send it over to Vizard. This is the point in the process where the true magic of that automated editing really begins to shine through. Vizard analyzes the clip, picks out those potentially viral-worthy parts, and trims away all the unnecessary filler content. Crucially, I can set the target length, aiming for that sweet spot under 60 seconds for Reels and Shorts consistently. It allows me to prioritize punchy moments, natural conversational beats, or even emotional high points depending on my goal. This feature single-handedly removes the single biggest friction point, deciding precisely where every single cut should actually fall. After Vizard presents me with those smart options, I bring the final chosen clip straight back into Descript for one vital next step. That essential step is getting those captions burned directly into the video file for maximum control and clarity. Platform auto captions are often absolute garbage, and for true accessibility, I must control the on-screen text completely. The brilliance of Descript's system is that when I edit the script, the burned captions update automatically without me doing anything extra. I simply highlight the final audio section, hit Insert Captions, and Descript precisely lays them in frame, perfectly synced to the sound. This capability saves me so much time and sanity compared to the old way of manually timing captions in Final Cut Pro. Next up, I focus intently on designing the actual vertical canvas to make it feel intentional, not just cropped. I treat this vertical space like a dedicated mini poster designed specifically for that short-form viewing experience. A key design trick is keeping the bottom area visually heavier toward the center of the screen area. This precaution is necessary because most platforms plaster UI elements like progress bars and like buttons right over the edges. Therefore, I consciously position all my key titles and any waveform graphics closer to the actual center of the composition. Stylistically, I always incorporate a colored background wash and a simple border to stop the original horizontal frame looking awkwardly cut. One stylistic element I genuinely love is adding a prominent waveform graphic that perfectly matches the audio energy. Descript excels here because it's completely audio aware, meaning the waveform reflects the clip's actual volume and rhythm. Canva's wave graphics might look cool, but they are static animations, not truly linked to the underlying audio file whatsoever. With Descript, I can easily adjust the waveform's thickness, color, and amplitude until it truly matches the clip's current vibe. It's important that fans see the motion and know it's directly tied to my voice, not just some random animated sticker. I also like adding a subtle progress bar or decorative player user interface to really sell the podcast aesthetic. I keep this progress bar very thin so that viewers do not mistake it for an actual interactive playback control. Small touches like tiny triangles or simple headphone icons help cement the feeling that this is a shared podcast clip. I actually export those specific aesthetic assets as transparent PNGs from Canva because their export feature is so straightforward. Then I import those small icons back into Descript for final placement alongside my captions and waveform. This back and forth between tools sounds fussy, but once you build the initial template, it becomes surprisingly fast. What Vizard truly stacks on top of this entire foundation is that critical automation layer for bulk content creation. It has the ability to batch cut multiple clips intelligently select the very best for virality potential, and even queue them for posting. Honestly, Vizard's auto-schedule feature is an absolute game changer for maintaining a consistent creator presence. I simply tell it the frequency for clips, and Vizard manages the entire posting cadence without me needing to babysit every single upload. If I ever need to slightly tweak the timing or adjust the caption copy later, the content calendar lets me adjust posts easily in one place. This transforms repurposing from a tedious, draining weekly chore into a lightweight, efficient content machine feeding our socials. We need to talk about the trade-offs when comparing these powerful tools against each other, of course. Canva is phenomenal for high brand impact assets and has a very low learning curve for new users. However, Canva will never automatically select your viral clips for you or handle any of the actual scheduling part. Descript provides incredible precision for editing dialogue and nailing caption synchronization, which is essential for accuracy. But its native motion graphics capabilities are certainly more limited when stacked up against dedicated design programs. Then you have the other suite of auto editors out there claiming they do everything, but often they are too expensive or too general to get clicks. Vizard really sits in this perfect, powerful sweet spot for my specific workflow because it augments my other tools. It focuses on extracting those high-value moments, scheduling them intelligently, and feeding my design process seamlessly. This lets me concentrate my energy on the crucial creative tweaks rather than getting bogged down in minute-by-minute editing tasks. To be completely honest about what changed from my very first failed experiments, I stopped fighting the horizontal source file. Instead of forcing vertical thinking onto that shot, I now embrace the full frame and design around the known UI areas. I strictly enforce keeping every single clip under the minute mark, usually targeting between 40 and 55 seconds. I ensure all captions are baked in and are completely accurate, eliminating any risk from platform interpretation. I always include those audio-synced waveforms alongside a very light progress bar, just for added dynamic motion. The resulting vertical content genuinely looks like it was intentionally crafted for the platform, not just a hastily chopped afterthought. If you are running any type of video podcast and are tired of fighting caption errors or constant manual cropping, listen up. I strongly encourage you to try blending these specific tools together for a much more sustainable content strategy. Use an editor that guarantees perfect caption output, a design tool for your unique brand assets, and an AI to select viral moments. This combination makes the mechanical aspects of repurposing feel completely trivial, freeing you up creatively. It absolutely does not make your content automatic because you are still selecting the core voice and overall vibe for your audience. But it effortlessly handles the repetitive, necessary steps that used to suck all the creative energy right out of my week. I am still iterating on the exact look of the visual templates and constantly trying to tighten the captions to be even faster to read. However, this specific combination has made the entire repurposing stage truly sustainable for me on a regular basis. If you have better tips for keeping metadata from covering key titles, I genuinely want to hear about them in the comments below. Perhaps you've discovered some secret Vizard trick or an export technique that I haven't quite stumbled upon in my own testing yet. And if you are interested, once I finalize these visual templates, I will definitely drop another walkthrough showing the exact settings. So that wraps up my current, refined approach to turning long video into engaging short-form social content. I'll continue experimenting and tweaking the details, but for today, I'm actually excited to batch produce clips again. It finally feels like a manageable system instead of a creative chore that I constantly dread every single week. Catch you all in the next video, and if you try out this blend, please let me know how it works for your specific setup. I am really eager to hear about your results and any successful customizations you might have discovered. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.